All right, Jonathan, some award radar. How you doing, Shannon?
I'm doing great. I'm seeing my eyeball poke from behind you. Like this is awesome.
That's
I love
you,
this backdrop.
right? You're like watching me. It's
Always
amazing.
watching, baby.
Yeah, you are. How you doing? No, this was congratulations on the show. This is like such a I want to get this right. Was this like your first like leading role in a huge project like this?
My friend, this is my first TV job ever.
Oh my God. Well,
Yeah.
that is that was about what I expected, but I mean, like, come on, that is amazing because you're like a natural in the
Oh, thank
show. You
you.
really are.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
want to ask, like, what was the audition process like? What was it like to get to like land this job?
Oh my gosh. The audition process, it was honestly a blast. The first one was a tape. It was a self-tape that I got in November of 2024, which my instinct was to say last year, but it was a self-tape, and then it was 2.5 months of auditioning from that point, and it was callbacks and then a test. And the whole time it was like adding on a different scene, seeing Etta and what it was like between her. What is she like between her dad? What is she like between her and her mom? What is she like between her and her aunt? What is she like? All of that stuff. So it was yeah, and got to meet Karen, the showrunner, and the team behind all of it. And yeah, it was really special. It was really special and daunting as well, but mostly just like, oh my God, I can't even believe that this is happening.
Right, no, it sounds like such a crazy process. I mean, to be able to like all of a sudden get to lead a huge project like this. But what part of your character would you say that you were able to relate to the most during the
Mm.
audition process?
I think I was able to relate to how much she cares. She's a young she's a young 20s gal, and she loves her family. And I am lucky enough to, this is gonna sound like really obvious, but like I also love my family. So it was
Of
easy to kind of
course.
yeah, so it was kind of easy to tap into that part. And I'm from South Florida, so I know it was easy for me to kind of imagine what her life would have been like beyond the page. And there were so many, like I know what mangroves are. Like I've boat like I go boating with we would vacation in the Keys. So there was so much of her history that I could connect with and imagine for sure.
Yeah, and I was about to say because like Miami just feels like it's like a character of its
Hmm.
own, within the
Yeah.
show. How do you say that the setting and being on location, how does that impact your performance as an actor?
Um, well, it definitely informs it, for sure. We were sweating, rightfully so. It was Florida, it was mosquitoes, it was swampy and hot and all the things that Florida is so wonderfully known for. But yeah, for me it was particularly special because being from there, it was like we would drive onto a location and we'd pass by a park that I had a birthday party at, or like, Wynwood, which I've been to with like to go eat. And so it was kind of a real homecoming in a lot of ways. And so so I kind of used that kind of whatever was filling my heart to push it out into the performance. But yeah, it was really special.
Yeah, getting to make this show seems like such a special experience. And I mean, do you have a favorite memory from the set that made this experience so special for you?
Oh my God. There's so many. I think immediately, if I'm answering quickly, what comes to mind is there's an episode later on in the season that's like a house party. And that was particularly awesome because we had so many incredible guest stars. We had Alyssa Gerald, we had Tyler Perez, we had so many wonderful people that it felt like summer camp. And it's kind of like our characters are tripping out. And so we would like, it felt like we were genuinely partying almost. Like we had to kind of corral ourselves back in and be like, wait, guys, we have to focus.
Yeah.
Um, but that, we would eat in my trailer and it just felt like we had really bonded in a very short amount of time. So I'd say that was probably really one of my more fonder memories.
Yeah, all right. No, that sounds like such a wonderful experience. Now, are you a fan of like crime shows in general? Like, do you watch them at all?
I do, I do. I kind of have a diverse portfolio as it relates to like what I like to watch, but crime dramas are definitely up there for me, for sure.
Ooh, awesome. Do you have any favorites?
Yeah, I mean, Ozark, obviously, but
Yeah,
then I
right.
also really
Classic.
enjoyed Task. Like those are two shows that I've watched
Yes,
recently that
yes.
I'm like, They're so good.
Absolutely, and I love how the show sort of like plays into that genre, and especially the journey that your character has to go down. Um, do you now, as far as like digging into your character, what do you think like it made everything like sort of like a unique experience, as far as like where your character goes? How do you feel like it stood out among other things that you had seen before?
That's a really good question. I think it's rarer, not to make it about this, but I think it's rarer to have female characters be so dynamic. And I think it's more often we have the good guys and we have the bad guys. And I think what makes the show special is we watch what happens to someone and what then leads them to make the choices that they make. And so it leads with empathy. And yeah, I think that's what makes it special. And as we kind of move on in the season, the curtain gets peeled on some other characters as well, and we start seeing the motivations of the other characters that we think are the bad guys, but we're like, wait, they also have a family and they also have their motivations. And I think the show does a really wonderful job of like slowly kind of like creeping it out and being like, oh, I get it. It's I just not that I can justify killing people necessarily in real life, but like, but like
Right.
as I'm watching the show and for entertainment purposes and for that as an exercise, I think the show does a really wonderful job of doing that.
Yeah. Is there anything that surprises you when you watched the final like cut of the show for the first time? Anything that stands out?
Anything that stands out? I mean, it's always so interesting to see how something feels on the day and then see it in the edit because there's so much that happens between when we wrap to when it's done, right? And I think for me, what surprised me was how awesome there was like a use of music in such a really interesting, like even the music was Miami music. And in reading the script, I was so kind of involved in the story part of it that I forgot that it's going to have a kick-ass soundtrack and it's going to have this really awesome editing and sound design. And so I think for me, it really came alive just watching it and being like, oh my God, that song is a banger. Like this is like a perfect song for this
Yeah.
moment. And it's also inherently South Florida too. Yeah, that was probably something that surprised me. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That sounds amazing. Congratulations on the show. Yeah, and have an
Thank you.
amazing rest of your day.
Thank you. So
Absolutely.
nice to meet you. And I hope that
Yeah,
you keep this backdrop and
I
even for your next
will.
interview.
Every single one. They will all have
Perfect. Perfect. So nice to meet you.